Hi y'all, Dave Canada here with the Motorcycle Grand Tour of Texas. This video is going to show you where the tour stops will be for the 2025 tour. Also, you can just hit the pause button just to read the names and addresses of the stops as you go through the video. For those of you who are not familiar with the tour, I'll tell you a little bit about how it works. It's a self-guided tour. I don't lead you on rides. I don't tell you how to go from point A to point B. I provide the registered riders with a tour flag. It's a placard, has your individual rider number for the year. The riders then ride to designated stops, take a picture of their bike with the tour flag. And you can be in the picture or you don't have to be in the picture. It's totally up to you. If you submit 25 or more qualifying pictures, you will receive a patch that reflects that you are a tour finisher. However, if you submit 50 qualifying pictures, you will receive a patch that shows that you are a 50-stop tour finisher. For the 2025 year, I'm going to offer something new. It's going to be an option B on the tour. Option A will be the traditional tour that we've been doing, but option B will include a kind of an add-on tour, which will be a stop in each of the states that has territory that used to be part of the Republic of Texas. And you'll see that in the video. So I think those who are really adventuresome that want to see the Republic of Texas will enjoy that tour. Full details on how the tour works will be on the website, so be sure to read the website and make sure you understand exactly how it works, and you can certainly contact me with any questions. The website address, the short address is mcgttx.com. Again, mcgttx.com. Now, please stay tuned for the video. Tour sponsors help make the tour possible, and there's a couple of tour sponsors that don't have stops on the tour. One of them is Ride Texas Magazine, and while they don't have a stop on the tour, you do receive points on the tour, and there's more about that on the website, but you do receive points if you take a picture at one of the tour stops of your bike and your flag and include a copy of Ride Texas Magazine in the picture. And by the way, a lot of our tour stops, the owners of the businesses will have copies of the magazine there, so you can just ask them if you can borrow a copy and take the picture. Another one is Law Tigers, and Craig Lane, as you see in the picture there, is a great resource. What to do if you had an accident. So you can reach Craig through the website. The first stop on this year's tour is a grave site. Upon her death in 1911, Holly Tatnell was buried in Hearn's, quote, colored cemetery, which had allegedly originated as a slave burying ground. Holly would have been one of the last people interned at the cemetery, as it closed in 1912. When real estate developers purchased the land in 1947, they edged out families of color in the neighborhood who were forced to exhume and rebury the remains of their ancestors. The only family that refused to budge was Holly Tatnell's children, George and Andrew. The developers were eager to move forward, so they constructed a median around Holly's grave. As proof of their triumph, the Tatnell children placed the second marker on their mother's grave, in addition to her original headstone. In 2007, the median also received a sign from the Texas Historical Commission denoting it as a historic Texas cemetery, despite only containing the remains of one person. Tour stop number 2 is motorcyclegear.com. They are a family-run business dedicated to bringing you all the best new motorcycle apparel and accessories and the best value in their closeout department. They've been in business for over 25 years and they're going strong. They strive to support customers and largely without paid advertising. They relocated to Plano from West Texas, and very customer-friendly business. When you stop by, let them know you're on the tour and you just might get a discount. Check them out. Tour stop number 3 is the Audie Murphy statue, which is located at the Audie Murphy and American Cotton Museum in Greenville, Texas, which is in Hunt County. Now, Audie Murphy is the most decorated American combat soldier of World War II. He received every military combat award for valor available from the United States Army, as well as French and Belgian awards for heroism. He received the Medal of Honor for valor that he demonstrated at the age of 19 for single-handedly holding off a company of German soldiers for an hour in France in January 1945 before leading a successful counterattack while wounded. Murphy was born into a large family of sharecroppers in Hunt County, Texas, after his father abandoned them. His mother died when he was a teenager. So he left school in 5th grade to pick cotton and find other work to help support his family. His skill with a hunting rifle helped feed his family and also certainly helped him with his skills in World War II. Initially turned down for being underweight by the Army, Navy, and the Marine Corps, he eventually was able to enlist in the Army. He first saw action in 1943 in the Allied invasion of Sicily. Then in 1944, he participated in the Battle of Anzio and the liberation of Rome and the invasion of southern France. So he was small in stature, but Audie Murphy was a fighter. Later in life, he became an actor and then tragically died in an airplane crash. So highly recommend checking out the museum. You got to park in back of the statue to get the picture, fortunately, but check out the statue and check out the museum in Greenville, Texas. Tour stop number 4 is the Texas Sidecar Company in DMC of Texas. Please note they're at a new location. They have consolidated locations to their address in Teague, Texas, 210 Elm Street, Teague, Texas. That will be the stop for the 2025 tour. Texas Sidecar Company, great manufacturer of sidecars. They also have mounts and hitches and other products. Go to Teague, Texas this year and check them out. Tour stop number 5, Old Baldy Park. The sign in Old Baldy Park. This is a 4.3 acre tract of property in Wimberley, Texas. There was concern that the developers were going to develop that land, and a group of the community got together and created a Save Old Baldy Foundation, a nonprofit, to purchase the land and give it to the city, which is really cool. And it's a fun little park, and you just need to take a picture by the sign, but as you can see there's stairs that go way up, and you get a great view of Wimberley and the hill country if you're willing to climb the 218 steps to get to the top. But I climbed it and definitely recommend it. Tour stop number 6 is Moto Liberty. Since 1999, Motor Liberty has been known for stocking quality brands of quality street motorcycle gear and accessories. Gear doesn't do the job if it doesn't fit right. So come Try it on and let their knowledgeable staff assist you in finding the right size and the best gear for your riding style. You'll feel like a kid in a candy store when you see their 6,000-foot showroom chock full of helmets, jackets, boots, gloves, and road race suits. Tour stop number 7 is the Slug Bug Ranch. You probably heard of the Cadillac Ranch in Amarillo. I haven't put that one on a tour because it's set so far back in the field that it would really be hard to get a picture. There is a Slug Bug Ranch in Conway, Texas. However, it has been purchased by the Big Texan Steak Ranch and moved to Amarillo, which I found out about from Lone Star Rider. So while we were in Amarillo, he took me out there to see it. It's pretty cool. They could make a great stop to take a picture and to visit. So check out the Slug Bug Ranch in Amarillo, owned by the Big Texan Steakhouse. And while you're there, I highly recommend the Big Texan Steakhouse. And you can even try for the 72-ounce steak if you eat the whole thing. I believe it's within 1 hour with all the fixings. It's free, but good luck finishing it. There are 3 vintage theaters on the 2025 tour. Of the 3, 2 are still in use. Tour stop 8 is the Globe Theater. In early 1935, the people of Bertram, Texas met to discuss the opening of a new modern theater. The Bertram Amusement Company was formed. A construction contract for the new picture show building was awarded. The walls were constructed with red granite from Granite Mountain, the same used in the state capitol and the Galveston Seawall. The Globe Theater was opened to a packed house on August 20, 1935. As new owners came and went, the Globe continued to play movies until its last showing in the early 1980s. It lay dormant until 2009, when it was purchased by the current owners. Through a long 6-year restoration process, the Globe reopened in the fall of 2015. The theater serves as a venue for live performances. Tour stop number 9 is the Meteor Crater Museum. The Meteor Crater was designated a natural landmark in 1965 by the Department of the Interior. On October 1, 2002, the museum was officially opened. The Meteor Crater is not as distinctive as the one in Arizona. Natural forces such as high winds and heavy rains contribute to the natural erosion of the rim and surrounding areas. Human interaction such as oil fields also adds to shifting sand and debris. Authorities prefer to leave the crater in its natural state rather than excavating it back to its original look, which could damage the impact rock and prevent the true understanding of meteor impacts. Tour stop number 10 is the Flying L Ranch Resort. The main house in the Flying L Ranch Resort. The Flying L Ranch Resort it's a great place to stop and start off rides from if you're going to do the Twisted Sisters and the Hill Country rides. They have individual cabins. They have bunkhouses that can hold a lot of folks. They have hotel rooms, and then they have apartments. So they have a variety of lodging options. And on March 1, 2025, it will be the main house at the Flying L Ranch will be the pickup point for tour flags if you registered in January. If you can't make it, if you're registered, you can't make it in March 1st in person, then I'll mail it to you. And if you register in February, I will mail it to you. Tour stop 11 is the Gray County Courthouse in Pampa, Texas. Tour stop 12 is the Wharton County Historical Museum. Tour stop 13 is the Sequest Home, which is a historical home in Mason, Texas. It's a unique hill country landmark, which is open for tours. Tour stop 14 is the Texas Cotton Gin Museum. History comes to life at the official Cotton Gin Museum of Texas, home of the oldest operating cotton gin in America. The museum is open for tours. Tour stop 15 is the old Post Theater on the grounds of Fort Clark Springs, Texas. I picked the theater because it's very easy to find on the Fort Clark Springs. There is a museum there. I've been there twice and it's closed both times. So you might want to check out the museum. But the Post Theater on the fort is where you take your picture for credit on the tour. Fort Clark Springs is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. It was a military fort in operation for almost 100 years, from 1852 to shortly after World War II. And if you've been in the service, you'll definitely recognize it as a military post, even though it's no longer an active military post. Tour stop 16 is the National Mounted Warrior Museum. Fort Cavazos, previously named Fort Hood, has a long-standing history tied to mounted warfare, mounted soldiers, and the units that support them. It is home to a state-of-the-art facility to share that heritage, the National Mounted Warrior Museum, which is located just outside the main gate. In the museum, visitors are able to recount the history of Fort Cavazos and its units, the mounted soldier's perspective, and the evolution of mounted warfare from the inception to the United States to present day. Tour stop 17 is the oil derrick in downtown Gladewater, Texas. A big oil boom happened in 1931, ushering in an era of petrodollars that helped Gladewater rise to the top of the East Texas oil scene. A lot has changed for Gladewater since the oil boom. Once known as the hub of the East Texas oil industry, the city is now known as the region's antique capital. Gladewater still celebrates its petroleum past with events like the East Texas Gusher Days and the annual fundraiser Taste of the Oil Patch. Tour stop 18 is the Gladewater Museum. Their mission is to preserve, educate, and encourage the public appreciation of Gladewater's history in the surrounding area. The museum is dedicated to preserving, educating, and encouraging the public to appreciate its colorful past. Come by 116 West Pacific to see Gladewater's history through pictures and stories. And be sure to say hi to Elaine Roddy and let her know you're riding on the tour. Tour stop 19, the Fulton Mansion. Surrounded by stately live oaks, Fulton Mansion State Historic Site is located in the resort area of Rockport, Fulton. The house must have appeared incredible in 1877, as it does today, with its ornate trim and roof, interior gas lighting, flush toilets, and other refinements which were progressive and luxurious items for this part of Texas history. The Fulton Mansion is a recorded Texas historic landmark and is listed in the National Register of Historic Places. Learn about George Fulton's engineering skills, take a walk through the garden inspired by Harriet's love of flowers, and hear the stories of living in a grand Victorian villa. Tour stop 20 is the Corpus Christi Museum of Science and History. The museum's mission is to engage the community in the active exploration of science, history, and innovation in the Corpus Christi and Coastal Bend region. They aspire to cultivate a community in which discoveries lead to lifelong passions for understanding the past, exploring the present, and imagining a brighter future. They value science and history and believe that when combined, they hold the potential to change lives and inspire discovery, exploration, and imagination. The museum is also the repository for hundreds of thousands of artifacts and historically significant items in its massive facility. Tour Stop 21, the Karnes County Courthouse in Karnes City, Texas. Tour Stop 22 is the Lake Jackson Historical Museum. The museum presents permanent and rotating exhibits that highlight major eras and influential figures of the Lake Jackson area. The museum is the headquarters of Lake Jackson Historical Association and functions as an important community space. Tour Stop 23, the Frio Canyon Motorcycle Stop and the Bent Rim Grill. They are your headquarters for riding on the Three Twisted Sisters. The Frio Canyon Motorcycle Stop has plenty of great gear to choose from, with new Three Twisted Sisters merchandise every season. The Bent Rim Grill has outstanding food. All the burgers are fresh, never frozen Angus beef. My personal favorite is the Victory Vision Burger. I highly recommend it, but come hungry, as it's a half-pound burger. Tour Stop 24 is the Queen Theater. The Queen Theater is Bryant's crown jewel, an iconic landmark that has stood over Main Street since 1939. It's also a perfect example of historic downtown Bryan's resilience and rebirth into the cultural hub of Bryan and College Station. The economic decline of the 1970s forced the Queen, along with most other downtown Bryan businesses, to close their doors. After decades of disuse and neglect, the citizens of Bryan rallied together to restore the Queen to her former glory in 2018. The theater has been fully renovated to offer first-run movies, luxury amenities, delicious food, and even houses a bar on the 3rd and 4th floors. Tour Stop 25. Tour Stop 25, you can take a picture of your bike and your tour flag at any VFW post in the state of Texas. You get the post number in the picture. Kind of cool this year. We had some riders. We've had different riders on the tour who belong to different groups, and including VFW motorcycle group. And they inquired about being on the tour, so that's how we ended up with him on the tour. I think that's very cool. So find a VFW post anywhere in Texas and take a picture there to get credit for Stop 25. Tour Stop number 26. I believe the world's largest Buc-ee's is in Luling, Texas. This is not that one. This is a tiny Buc-ee's, and you will find it off of Highway 90 between Sanderson and Marathon. Tour Stop number 27, the Classic Rock Coffee and Kitchen in Navasota, Texas. I like classic rock and I like coffee. It's a good combination, and you can also get a pretty good lunch there too. I like to get their Freebird sandwich, and on hot days, a mango smoothie hits the spot. Tour Stop number 28 is the Texas Through Time Museum in Hillsboro. They're going to relocate to a bigger building, and I'm not sure exactly when that's going to happen, but I'll give you credit regardless of which building you take the picture at. Be sure to check their webpage. Tour Stop number 29. It's an 80-foot tall tin soldier. Used to be an incinerator in Waco. It's pretty cool. When you are looking for it, it's near a Furniture Row store. As you're facing that store, it'll be to your left. Tour Stop number 30. Trinity County Courthouse. Tour Stop 31 is the Edwin Walters Memorial Museum. The museum is dedicated to preserving the history of Shriner, Texas. Its displays include an antique gun collection, old-time country store, dinosaur bones, embroidery and hand-stitch collections, musical instruments, and an implement shed, and many other interesting antiques. Tour Stop 32 is this mural in Hondo, Texas. Now there's more than one mural in Hondo, Texas. only this one counts. Where is this mural? There's a pretty good hint in the mural. You can find it in Hondo, Texas. And if you get there and you're hungry, Heavy's Barbecue, outstanding barbecue in Hondo. Tour stop 33, Caddo Mound State Historic Site. More than 1,200 years ago, a group of ancestral Caddo built a village and ceremonial center at the site. Today, 3 earthen mounds, still considered sacred to Caddo people, rise from the lush, piney woods landscape. Learn how the Caddo lived on the land through exhibits and programs at the State Historic Site. Tour stop 34 is the Loving County Courthouse. This courthouse is in the county with the smallest population, not just in Texas, but in the United States of America. Depending what website you go to, it varies a little bit on the population, but every one I've seen showed less than 100 people. Tour stop 35, Antelope Creek Leather. They are an American-owned and operated business for over 34 years. They have some made in America leather. They travel to rallies all over the United States, and they'll offer a 10% discount for riders on the Motorcycle Grand Tour of Texas. Tour stop number 36, the Texas Theater in McGregor, Texas. As you've seen already, there's 2 previous vintage theaters on the tour that have been restored and are still in use. The Texas Theater in McGregor has not been restored and it is not in use, which is a shame. The Texas Theater was built in 1912 and has a distinction of being the oldest standing, specifically built motion picture and vaudeville theater structure in the state of Texas. There is a organization, SaveTheTexas.org website you can go to, and where they're trying to raise funds to restore the theater. Tour stop number 37 is Riders Biker Supply. Riders Biker Supply is about real people in a real store located in Lewisville, Texas, a north suburb of Dallas. It's a family-friendly, independent store. They are dedicated to providing the best selection and best value of motorcycle gear, primarily related to bikers and the biker lifestyle. They have motorcycle helmets, biker leather, patches, professional patch sewing, motorcycle footwear, lady biker accessories, and accessories for your bike. Tour stop number 38 is the Whiteside Museum of Natural History. The museum provides all visitors with a glimpse into the natural world and, more specifically, the ancient life that once inhabited North Texas. In 2017, their paleontology team discovered Bonnie, a complete skeleton of the famous finback reptile Dimetrodon. Now on display, the 287 million-year-old fossil delights all guests and ranks as one of the most complete Dimetrodon skeletons ever found. Tour stop number 39 is Woody's Classic Cars and Baseball Museum. Lone Star Rider told me about this museum, so I went and checked it out. I would have never thought that there would be a museum of this magnitude in a tiny town such as Cross Plains, but it's an impressive car museum, and it's got cars from the early 1900s and 50s and 60s and 70s. And if you're a baseball fan, they also have baseball memorabilia from as early as Ty Cobb and Babe Ruth. Very cool museum. Check it out. Tour stop number 40 is the Hill Country Motorheads Motorcycle Museum. It is a vintage motorcycle museum located in Burnet, Texas, in the beautiful Texas Hill Country and Highland Lakes area just north of Austin. Hill Country Motorheads joins just a handful of motorcycle museums operating in Texas and displays over 7,000 square feet of vintage street bikes, motocrossers, trials, flat trackers, drag racers, choppers, and other motorcycles and memorabilia, mostly from the 1960s to the 1980s. For Harley diehards, they do have some cool Harley Davidsons to enjoy. Hill Country Motorheads is not your typical antique motorcycle museum. With over 200 motorcycles in the collection, the museum regularly showcases more than 70 bikes of many brands from around the world. While you are there, relax in their man cave, play some pool, watch the big screen TV, and enjoy all the memorabilia on the walls and vintage bikes scattered throughout the facility. There is plenty of pay parking for all sizes of vehicles, trailers, and bikes. Owners Pat and Janelle Hanlon invite you to come spend time at the museum and take a walk through time and experience the history of the best days of motorcycling. Tour stop number 41 is the Denver City Museum. You can take a picture by the Denver City Museum sign or by the Quanah Parker arrow, which is near the sign. Denver City is one of the newer incorporated towns that had been on the tour. It wasn't incorporated until 1939. It was incorporated because of oil being found, a big oil field there, so the town really developed to support the oil field workers. The boom positioned the new Denver City on an economic fast track, and by 1940, barely a year after incorporation, the community hosted over 100 businesses and about 3,000 residents. Today, Denver City continues to support the oil and gas industry, and Denver City's Historical Museum helps preserve and exhibit the community's past. Exhibits include oil field items, farm and ranch equipment, dental tools, pharmacy items, and other memorabilia important to the history of Denver City. Tour stop number 42 is the Dunnigan Visitor Center at the Monahans Sandhills State Park. Park in front of the Visitor Center to take your picture. If you want to explore the park, which I recommend, there is a small fee. Monahans Sandhills State Park consists of 3,840 acres of sand dunes. It's about a half hour's drive southwest of Odessa. The park offers a Texas-sized sandbox for kids of all ages, as well as a close-up view of a unique desert environment. You can even buy a sand disc and slide down the dunes. If you're going to go hiking, be aware of the heat out there during the summer months, and make sure you can find your way back from your starting point. Tour stop number 43 is the Rusk KOA Holiday Camps store. The park is perfectly situated between Dallas-Fort Worth and Houston and Shreveport, Louisiana. If you're traveling by motorcycle, you can tent camp there, or you can do what I do, stay in one of the great cabins. I'm not into tent camping, so a cabin with its own bathroom and AC and Wi-Fi and TV is more my style. You can even cook in the cabin's kitchen. Sit on the front porch with your coffee in the morning and enjoy nature in comfort. When you stop to get your picture in front of the camp store, go inside and let them know you're riding on the tour. It just may give you a goodie bag. Tour stop 44 is the Coleman County Chamber of Commerce building in Coleman, Texas. You can take your picture in front of the building or by the window on the side of the building. Coleman County is nestled between the rolling plains of the Big Country and the northern edge of the Texas Hill Country. The Chamber welcomes you to Coleman, home to scenic views, beautiful sunsets, Western culture, bountiful wildlife, lakes, antiques, shopping, golf, good food, and friendly folks. Tour stop number 45 is the Hotel Texan and Main Street Pizza in Seagraves, Texas. The Hotel Texan is a historic hotel on Main Street. The owner of the hotel, Gareth, is a motorcycle rider. You will most likely see his Honda Goldwing parked up front. And stop by and say hi to Gareth, and if he's got time, he'll probably go on a ride with you. Next door is Main Street Pizza, which Gareth also owns, and outstanding pizza and really good burgers they recently added to their menu, and ice cream. So it's a great place to stop, grab a bite, spend the night as you explore West Texas. Tour stop number 46 is the store and post office in Telegraph, Texas. Telegraph and the post office came into being sometime before 1900. It is thought that the name came from the telephone lines that were connecting military installations, or that the telegraph poles were cut nearby. The area is popular for hunting and fishing. The year-round population remained about 25 people from the mid-1920s through the mid-1960s. Then a population boom in the 60s swelled the population to 56 people. But by 1970, it was back down to only 31. And by the 1990s, there were reportedly only 3 people living in the town. Tour stop 47 is The Shop in Waxahachie, Texas. The Shop is a new tour sponsor. As you can see in the picture, the owners, Paul and Liz, are riders. Take your pictures at the banner shown in the picture. It's located in the parking area in back of the shop. After you take your picture, be sure to go inside the shop and check out the great biker apparel and gear they have to offer. They don't just sell merchandise, they also work on bikes in their heart and soul garage. They do bike maintenance, tune-ups, sell and install lights, install tires, do stereo upgrades, etc. So give them a shot. And if you're hungry while you're there, right in back of the shop, you'll find Pop's Burger Stand. Outstanding burger I had there. Tour stop number 48 is the Flying G Motorcycle Museum. It's a new motorcycle museum in East Texas in the town of Joaquin. They had their grand opening on October 26, 2024. I was there, so I can tell you firsthand that it was a huge hit. A ton of folks came out for the event. The museum has beautiful vintage bikes on display. Be sure to go there when they're open so you can see the great bikes. They have already hosted bike nights and rides. They have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, so be sure to follow them so you can see when they post events. It's great to see that we have another great motorcycle museum in the state of Texas. Tour stop 49 is the Caldwell County Courthouse in Lockhart, Texas. It's a beautiful courthouse. When you go to Lockhart, go hungry, because Lockhart is the barbecue capital of Texas. It's not just me saying that. The Texas legislature proclaimed Lockhart to be the barbecue capital of Texas. And there are numerous barbecue restaurants in Lockhart, Black's Barbecue, Chisholm Trail Barbecue, Kreitz Barbecue, and Smitty's Market. Tour stop number 50 is Lone Star Rider's Trailer. Lone Star Rider, or Rex Covington, is the only mobile tour stop on the tour. He is going to have a van wrapped and start using it to do some of his travel. After he has that done, I'll allow riders to take their picture with either his motorcycle trailer or the van. Rex lost his son due to diabetes, and he's been riding now for several years to raise awareness about diabetes and funds for the American Diabetes Association. You can find his trailer via a GPS tracker that will be on the tour stops page for the 2025 tour. As I said before, there are 2 different patches that riders can earn. Riders earn a tour finisher patch if they submit 25 qualifying pictures, or they earn a 50 stop finisher patch if they submit 50 qualifying pictures. There are 50 regular tour stops and several alternate tour stops on the tour. You can ride to an alternate tour stop in lieu of a regular tour stop. Some riders ride to all 50 regular stops and the alternative tour stops. If you do so, your patch will still be the 50 stop finisher patch. However, you will be credited with additional points for the extra stops you make if you do 50 plus alternates. This year, one of the alternate tour stops will be an event on a specific date. The alternative tour stops are: Alt 1 is the rest stop on Texas Road 170 between Presidio and Lajitas. If you are riding east from Presidio, you will find the rest stop on your right side. The rest stop has teepee shelters and picnic tables. Stop Alt 2 is the 3-state marker outside of Atlanta, Texas. This marker shows where the states of Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana meet. Please note this site is not paved. If you're not comfortable pulling onto an area that is not paved, you can take the picture without your bike in the picture, just have your flag in the picture. Tour stop Alt 3 is the Thurber Smokestack. I parked in an unpaved area in front of the smokestack. However, you can park farther away to take a picture from pavement if you're not comfortable pulling onto the unpaved surface. The smokestack in Thurber is part of the remains of a plant built by the Texas Pacific Coal Company. The smokestack is 128 feet tall and was built in 1909. The smokestack restaurant is nearby. You'll see it when you stop to take your picture. I had a real good lunch there and highly recommend it. Tour stop Alt 4 is the Young County Veterans Memorial. It's on the grounds of the downtown square in Graham, Texas. If you Google America's largest town square, you will see that it is the town square in Graham, Texas. Tour stop Alt 5 is an alternate stop that will be on a specific date at a certain place. To receive credit for this stop, you must participate in the Houston area's Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation's Ride for Kids. The 2024 ride started and ended in Montgomery, Texas. I think it's going to start and end there again in 2025. The date has not yet been announced. I'll keep tour riders posted via the tour update newsletter and the tour website as the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation firms up the details for the ride. What you're seeing here is video from the 2024 Ride for Kids and some of the Motorcycle Grand Tour riders that joined me on that ride. For the 2025 tour, I'm going to have an option B during registration. Option B will include the regular tour plus a ride that you can do to the other states that have territory that used to be a part of the Republic of Texas. There will be one stop in each of these states. However, the ride will give you an opportunity to explore some cool places in each of these states in addition to the tour stops. This is the first flag of the Republic of Texas when Texas became a republic in 1836. This map shows the shape of the Republic of Texas before we became part of the United States of America. This map shows you the parts of the other states that were a part of the Republic of Texas And for the Republic of Texas ride, the stops will be in those shaded areas. For the Republic of Texas ride, there won't be any points earned, and those stops won't count for the regular tour. It's kind of an add-on tour, but there will be a patch specifically for the folks that do option B. You'll get this Republic of Texas patch. It's going to look like this or very similar to this. It's something I designed, and I'm going to have a patch created. And I'll order the patches as soon as registration is over, and I'll see how many people are daring enough to register for the Republic of Texas ride. To earn the Republic of Texas patch, you will need to submit a qualifying picture at least 4 of the Republic of Texas tour stops. Republic of Texas Stop 1, or ROT 1, is the No Man's Land Historical Museum. And if you're wondering why is it called No Man's Land, because the area had no government from the 1850s to the 1890s. The land was ceded by Texas as part of the Compromise of 1850 to avoid having a free state. What do you think of when you think of Kansas? I think of Wizard of Oz and Dorothy. And so that's why ROT Stop 2 is Dorothy's statue at Dorothy's House and Museum in Liberal, Kansas. Okay, Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore. ROT Stop 3 is Bishop Castle in Colorado. When I was looking for tour stops in Colorado, and we looked at several, Lone Star Rider had been to Bishop Castle and he said, "You got to see this." So we went out there, and it is pretty cool. Now, when you park across the street, it's kind of obscured by these huge trees. You cross through the gateway there, the archway, and you'll see this incredible castle. So it's really cool to go spend some time there checking that out. Roswell, New Mexico, famous for an incident that was reported of a UFO crashing in 1947. ROT Stop number 4 is the UFO Museum and Research Center in Roswell, New Mexico. And spent a little time there, and did see some unusual things myself. So go check out the UFO Museum in Roswell, New Mexico.
Hi y'all, Dave Canada here with the Motorcycle Grand Tour of Texas. And today we are in the northernmost town in what was the Republic of Texas with this guy here. Come over here, Rex. This is Rex, Lone Star Rider, did the ride up here with me. And we are in Rawlins, and once you pan this way, show the museum. Right down here is the Carbon County Museum. And on the property of the Carbon County Museum is where you will find the plaque showing its northern boundary of the Republic of Texas. See y'all on the road.
Well, thank you for watching. Now you have seen the regular stops on the Grand Tour, the alternate stops on the Grand Tour, and the Option B stops for the Republic of Texas ride. Registration for the tour will be in January and February, and I hope to see you on the 2025 tour of the Motorcycle Grand Tour of Texas.